I'm Macy Eglund. The Oceanside woman accused in a deadly head-on crash on the southern state is expected in court today. Diana Kutataladze is scheduled to be arraigned. She allegedly told police she drank whiskey before the multi-vehicle crash last month that killed a Westbury couple. If convicted, Kutataladze faces up to 25 years in prison. A search for a suspect today who police say killed a man in a targeted shooting in Huntington Station. It happened yesterday behind the One Stop Deli on Pulaski Road. No word on a suspected motive or the victim's identity. Only in Newsday, a federal judge wants to bring ICE agents to court in 2 Long Island immigration cases. The Eastern District of New York judge ordered a hearing to determine if 2 immigrants on Long Island were lawfully detained. He claims their warrants were issued after they were arrested. No comment from the organization that represents the Trump administration on local immigration issues. First in Newsday, a new superintendent of schools in the Patchogue-Medford district. Patrick G. Harrigan is expected to take over July 1st. He was introduced to the community last night at a school board meeting.
You're going to hear we and our much more than you're going to hear I and mine. That's a big piece. That's important for our staff. It's important for our kids.
Harrigan has worked as the executive director of curriculum and instruction for the Oyster Bay East Norwich Central School District since 2024. A new luxury apartment complex opens next month in East Patchogue. Gray Barn Patchogue on East Main Street offers high-end amenities, including a movie theater, 24-hour gym, podcast studio, and golf simulator. 8 of the 91 units are being set aside for a housing lottery. Let's talk about your Tuesday forecast now. Another cold start to the morning, plus we are tracking some rain. Today, clear skies right now, though. Here's a look outside at Conscience Point Marina in Southampton. A pretty shot there. It is sunny today, a little bit breezy. Highs only topping out near 50 for most of the island. Tomorrow, your Wednesday, we bump up a little bit, a little warmer, but take a look at the futurecast here. We start to see that rain. Thursday, near 70. Friday, near 60, not too bad. Right now, cloudy and cooler for your weekend, and we see some more sun for the start of next week.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
Only in Newsday, April is Oral Cancer Awareness Month, a time to bring attention to a diagnosis that affects thousands of people across the country every year. Our Newsday TV reporter, Sherry Einhorn, was one of them. This is her story.
About 59,000 people in this country were diagnosed with oral cancer in 2025. Now, I have none of the known risk factors. I've never used tobacco. I'm not a big alcohol drinker. I eat a pretty healthy diet, and I have no family history that I know of. So as you can imagine, my diagnosis completely threw me for a loop.
This is the area that lights up where the oral cancer is.
That's the tumor that I found myself. It was a puffy sore spot on my gum that just wouldn't go away. I spent 12 days in the hospital after a surgery that was meticulously planned using 3D images and prints of my mouth.
We removed the upper jaw with the tumor in it and some healthy tissue around it. We took a piece of the bone from the leg, the lower leg, and we transplanted it to the upper jaw and put it back together with some plates and screws, and then we sewed these little blood vessels on the bone into the blood vessels of the neck.
Surgeons also removed 28 lymph nodes from my neck to see if the cancer had spread. Luckily, it didn't, but I still needed 6 weeks of radiation, and those side effects were incredibly challenging.
The hard thing for patients like yourself who go through all of this, it's a huge physical toll, but even more, it's an emotional toll that you have to get over.
Like pretty much everything, early detection is key. So let me ask you, have you ever been screened for oral cancer? Experts say it's supposed to be part of every routine dental visit and happen at least once a year. So what's involved? We'll show you.
This entails us looking at the cheeks, the gum, the tongue, the back of the mouth.
An oral cancer screening is typically a visual and hands-on exam that should take just a couple of minutes. A dentist or a hygienist checks outside and inside.
We're looking at the cheek here.
But how many people know they should be screened or are even aware of oral cancer?
Definitely not well known enough. Part of what the Oral Cancer Foundation is doing is trying to help the public learn more about it, to bring more awareness so that they can bring it to their dental providers.
As for me, I'm in the rehab phase now, and it's so much slower than I wish it was.
This still looks a little puffy. The bottom looks better, though.
Yeah. In fact, eating is my biggest challenge. This is my husband helping to lighten the mood. I consider myself a work in progress. And like so many of the people I've interviewed over the years in my role as a journalist, I'm hoping that by sharing my personal story, I might be able to help someone else. I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Sherry is such a fighter. We are so happy to have her back at work. You can see more exclusive stories like this on our website, newsday.com. Click Get More below that Newsday TV video box.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Island homes and businesses save with solar for over 20 years.
Well, the Knicks let one get away, blowing a late lead in Game 2 of their playoff series with the Hawks. Knicks beat writer Steve Popper breaks down what went wrong.
This is Steve Popper for Newsday Sports, and they say a series doesn't start until you lose on your home court, and the Knicks have now started this series by squandering a 14-point second-half lead to the Atlanta Hawks. Now the series is 1-1 heading to Atlanta on Thursday, and this was a game that the Knicks seemed to have in hand all night long, up by 14, up by 8, still midway through the fourth quarter. And they just stopped making shots. There was some problems where Jalen Brunson tried to, I think, take it on his shoulders a little bit, couldn't get it going. Mikal Bridges in the final seconds had a shot that he's made a million times, an open baseline jumper that could have won the game. Instead, it falls off the rim. And this is a game that the Knicks now wind up, I believe, regretting that they let one get away.
They can control what I can control. And so poor decision making on my part, and a couple possessions they played great defense, knocked the ball out of my hands. We just had to we got to play better with the lead.
No, our pace wasn't as good as it normally is. We're a team that, when we get stops, we can, play fast and get good looks, get good buckets, but, just we didn't execute as much as we wanted to.
But just like last year against Detroit, they've now got to go on the road and try and even this up, get home court back in Atlanta. This is Steve Popper for Newsday Sports.
Again, Game 3 is Thursday in Atlanta. You can read more about the Knicks playoff run on Newsday.com. Click Get More below that Newsday TV video box. The NFL draft is Thursday, and the Jets are on the clock with the number 2 pick with a lot of roster holes. Jamie Stewart and Newsday Jets beat writer Al Iannazzone have a preview.
Well, 2025 was one of the worst seasons in Jets history, and yes, I know that's saying a lot, but there is room for optimism for Gang Green, and it comes in the form of the NFL draft. This Thursday night, the Jets have not 1, but 2 first-round picks. Joining me now to break it all down is Newsday's Jets beat writer Al Iannazzone. Al, thanks for coming.
Thanks, Jamie. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. So we all assume Fernando Mendoza's going 1 to the Raiders, which means the draft starts with the Jets.
Absolutely.
What are you hearing?
I think all the intrigue starts with the Jets because they have 2 and 16 and 33 and 44. There could be a lot of movement. You expect them to take an edge rusher, whether it's Arvell Reese, David Bailey. If they trade down, they could take Sonny Styles, who's more an off-the-ball linebacker. They're hoping to get a player, obviously, that's going to make an impact not only now, but for the long term.
You bring up an interesting point. You mentioned GM Darren Muji, and he's been known to wheel and deal.
Yes.
Do you think there's a chance Muji could say, you know what, I'll trade out of the 2 and collect even more picks?
Yeah, I think there's a chance. I think there's always a chance. I think there might be more of a chance he trades with 16, but you never know. What Aaron Glenn said was, if you love the player, go get the player. But right now, I think they'll stay at 2 and maybe 16 they might move.
So you mentioned 16.
Yeah.
I would think offense, they would address that. Receiver, or dare I say, quarterback?
Yeah.
Or too rich at 16?
We think Ty Simpson's going to be the second quarterback taken after Fernando Mendoza. But I think receivers, me personally, receivers should be the pick. Garrett Wilson's coming back. Adonai Mitchell, they like him. Geno's coming in. You're going to draft a quarterback next year. Get as many weapons as possible. If they go with a cornerback, then maybe you take Denzel Boston or someone like that at 33.
How much pressure is on Glenn and Muji right now?
Yeah, I think there's more pressure on Aaron Glenn, obviously. I think Muji has proven himself in terms of the deals he's made. They look pretty good. I think he's safer than Aaron Glenn. They need to win this year, at least be competitive and vastly improve from last year to even see Glenn for a third year.
You know, it's funny, the Jets are always interesting, but they find new ways to be interesting, right? Now we don't know.
It's not for the right reason. It's never for the right reason.
Thank you very much. Ali Anazone from Newsday. NFL Draft is Thursday night.
You can read more about the Jets' possible draft picks as well as the Giants on Newsday.com. Click Get More below that Newsday TV video box. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other streaming services you see there. I'm Macy Eglund. We've got more local news coming up.
The Newsday Critics Pick Award means we've already done the work. Every cuisine, every budget, reviews you can trust. And right now, Newsday's critics have picked the best sushi on Long Island. Find the full list at newsday.com/sushi. That's newsday.com/sushi.